I know. Hey, oh God, why not stop this thing? Madam, use your phone to block me. Arrest. No one negative.
Particularly the media to have done their homework very well in doing where there are residential areas, in knowing where there are commercial areas. When you go to commercial areas, you don't expect a large turnout of people. But when you go to high residential areas, you, of course, you do expect people to turn up. Particularly as I'm here now, this is my community. I can see the turnout of people in this particular unit. So also it is in other units. But if you go to where you have commercial areas, more to speak, you don't expect much people. Go to the rural areas because it's local government areas. More participation is taken in the rural area because of councillorship position. And so most people who are also not indigenous or Rivers State may feel that look, there's no need since we are not having a true representative by having their own people contesting elections. So I'm very happy with the turnouts of people. I've got a lot of reports from the rural areas that people came out very well to participate in this election. So I'm very happy.
So that there are concerns whether this time around it has been gotten right, because from my interaction with Rivers people, they are concerned that the last time there was an election, it was cancelled eventually. What is your hope? What's that hope you have that would happen after here?
There was no election by law. Supreme Court said there was no election. They nullified the election. I said there was no election. There was no election. Today we are holding an election, and that's why you see people have come out to also cast their vote. If you do something that is not done to law, of course it will be set aside, and it was set aside. And now that the process is very clear and goes according to the law, nobody's worried. What people are doing is just to come out and cast their vote for whoever they want them to represent them at the local government level.
All right, yeah. The local government election, of course, would ultimately restore democratic governance, at the local level. And of course, tell us what this will mean for Rivers people. Of course, the state of emergency would lapse by September. So what does this mean for Rivers people?
And that is why we have to thank Mr. President for taking the bold step to make sure that this election is conducted. First of all, if election is not conducted, you know that Supreme Court has said there's nothing like caretaker committees in local government, and if there are no elected people, it means that funds will not come from the federation account to local government councils. And that means that if the emergency rule is lifted and there's no local government election, we'll still have the same problem. And now that local government election is taking place, it means that they've elected people and then they will get funds directly from the federation account. So everybody must stand out to support the conduct of this particular election in order to stabilize the grassroots level. By the time the state of emergency is lifted on the 18th of September, it means that the governor and the state assembly will come back. So without local government, it would not have been complete. So we are very glad that today we are conducting this election, and by the end of the day, elected people will emerge and they will be sworn in, and then we know that we have elected representatives at the grassroots level.
That what you said about
that means that people identify with the election, and people also worried that there are no elected people at the grassroots. And so today is the opportunity for them to choose who would represent them at the local government level, from the councillorship to the chairmanship position. I have to say with this, I watched particularly your outfit when you are saying that that party. That is not correct. We should have the experience of Nigerian voters in elections. You have general elections, which is being conducted by INEC. You have local elections, which is being conducted by the State Independent Electoral Commission. And you know that most cases, elections start from 10 o'clock in the morning. So when you go to a polling booth by 9 and you think you expect people to come out by that time, that is not the usual case. I watch you when you said a water tin, which is Rwanda. That is purely a commercial area. You didn't go to the residential areas. I also expect that you should go to the rural areas like Eche local government, like Ikure local government, Emoha local government. Go to areas like Akukotora, Saletoro, go to Abuodua, go to Ahuda East, Ahuda West, and see what is going on. Don't just, we have about 7,000 polling units, and you just go and take 2 polling units in the commercial city, and that you know that there are no residents there. And then you judge that there's a party. But you can see what has happened there now. So also it is in all other units. Yes, you can have some units, you may not have people who may turn. That does not mean that out of 7,000 units, you have that same. No, it's not correct. And then I've also heard of you talk about, oh, because there's no beavers. We have also complained in the general election of the problems about the beavers. And instead of you to praise research, look at the security agencies. You have not heard of any violence. You've not heard of carrying of the ballot boxes. You see the electoral materials are there. People are casting their votes. Commend them. As far as you are concerned, this election is peaceful. As far as you are concerned, people are trooping out. By the time the election will close, you will see the number of persons. So we are very happy that this election has, at the end of the day, that has been conducted very peacefully and successfully.
So what's next for River State after here?
Of course, what it means that I do know that by 18th of September that the state of emergency will expire, and then that will mean that the state governor and the state assembly will come back to their jobs, and then we have representatives at the grassroots level. Remember, the Supreme Court had nullified the other election, and so if this election was not conducted, it will mean that there will be no representative at the grassroots level, which would not be, acceptable by the people of River State. So, having done this, then the coast is clear for the state of emergency to be lifted, meaning that the local government has representatives, the state government has its own elected representatives. So, we are good to go.